City of Sanford City Commission meeting, Monday, June 27, 2016 at 7 p.m. City Commission Chambers, first floor, Sanford City Hall, 300 North Park Avenue, Sanford, Florida.
For Monday, June 27th, 7 p.m. If everybody please rise for the legislative prayer by Thelma. Mike, if you'll come up, we always love to see you. If you'll help us out, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Our Father and our God, we are so grateful for an opportunity just to tell you thank you. With all of the things that's going on in your creation, we thank you that you allowed us to be standing in a place where we can at least say we are at peace in our spirits. We ask tonight that you would cover and anoint this room. Grant us peace and understanding. Teach us how to love one another. Let us agree or disagree without being disagreeable. We thank you for those who have submitted themselves to take care of the business of the city of Sanford. And thank you for their families who give so much of their time for us, for all of our employees, and even all of the citizens. God, we are so grateful. We only have two things to say, and that is thank you, and we will praise you. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Mike, as always, eloquently said. We do have a presentation tonight by the Wayne Dench Theater Board. If you'd like to come down, and we'll hand the floor over to you. We'll just state your name and address for the record. Chris, can you take care of that for us?
Yeah, Steve.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
Good
hey,
afternoon.
how are you?
Chris, do you have that video?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Steve Nelson from the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center, and also we have here our president Sarah Reese and Art Woodruff, two of our other two board members. Real quick, I want to show a 2-minute and 55-second video, and then after that, I want to just a couple of quick things to say, and then we have a short presentation.
Okay.
I think it's the line in that blue oval there.
Business
The slideshow, by the way, was put together by one of our wonderful volunteers, Matt Weber. And he gives us a lot of his time. We at the theater certainly feel as an integral part of the community, an integral part of the partnership with the city and the CRA. And just to give just a hint as to what we also bring to the area, since 2012, we have accounted for about 64,000 visitors to the area. Those are both patrons and our volunteers and people that work in the shows. And according to an Arts and Economic Prosperity study, what those 64,000 people that have come to visit the area, they've contributed $1.325 million to the local economy. Now granted, that's not all just in Sanford, but a big chunk of it is. So again, we couldn't do that without the help of the Wayne Ditch Foundation and certainly the city and certainly the CRA. To show our appreciation, I'd like to ask our president, Sarah Reese, to present Jeff and the city with a little token.
Show it to the audience too. This is a picture of the theater from the front with a new Ritz sign that we're very proud of, thanks to the CRA for helping us purchase that. And Jeff, we hope that we will continue to be great partners with the city of Hempstead.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks beautiful.
Doesn't
The
it
theater
look
looks
beautiful?
Really does.
Want to get a picture?
Steve?
Picture of a picture?
Yeah. One picture.
Steve, you want to come up? Oh, sure, Jeff.
Rose between thorns.
Jeff, why don't you have Charles come up too, since he's chair of the CRA?
Nah.
Wow, if I take Charles.
Charles, you want to go? I'm joking, man. Come on.
We can say no.
We can say nationwide.
Exactly. Come here.
Well, we definitely want to say thank you.
You know, I came and saw it yesterday. How many other people do that?
That's true. That's true. Jump in.
Lord.
Couldn't do it without you.
All right, everybody say show business.
There's none.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. Don't delete that. Thanks, Charles. You're welcome.
And I have to admit, I've had a lot of comments. Are these speakers loud? Or is it just me?
Go ahead, Trey.
Test, 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 test. Oh, it's me.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Maybe, yeah, a little better. All right, when I start screaming with these developers, I don't want it to be too loud. Steve, to you both, thank you so much for what you do for our community. And I never heard those numbers, so I think that's it's really important to what's going on. And we know a lot of people come downtown specifically to go there and spend a lot of time with their families and such in our restaurants and walking our streets. So we appreciate all that you guys have done. And like I said, I've heard nothing but positive comments since you put the Ritz sign out there. It really adds a specific ambiance of history to our area.
Glad to be part of it.
Thanks for what you do.
Can I say one thing
Yes,
real
ma'am.
quick? My mother found a book, an old book that it was written by a man who worked for the Sanford Herald, and it's from Sanford from 1912 to 1935. And you'd love it. I gotta let the mayor read it. And my grandmother, Weta Lee, Mike and Andy's grandmother too, was the ticket girl in 1920, and that's where she met my grandfather. Wow. She was the ticket girl in 1920 at that theater.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
If only the walls could talk.
Oh, I know.
We know there's a ghost there, but
Yeah,
every theater has a ghost, right?
absolutely. I'll bet. I've been around a long time. So thank you all very much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's going to bring us to the minutes of June 13th, 2016 regular meeting and June 14th special joint work session with the Sanford County School Board.
I'll move to approve both sets of minutes.
I've got a motion and a second by Dr. Williams. And any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Item 6A through D, unless something needs to be removed, I'll accept a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, further discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings us to the public hearing, item 7A, the second reading of ordinance number 4378 to rezone 9.33 acres. Mr. Colbert.
Thank you, Mayor. This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida, providing for the rezoning of real property totaling 9.23 acres in size. Tax parcel identification number 261935AE 2900-0000 within the city limits. Map of the property attached from agriculture. The city restricted industrial, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for the adoption of a map by reference, repealing all conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, providing for non-consultation, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the Planning and Zoning Commission and the recommendation of the city staff that the City Commission enact an ordinance to rezone 9.33 acres with a project address of 800 Brookside Road from agricultural to restricted industrial based on the request being consistent with the future land use designation.
Thank you, sir. This is a quasi judicial matter and such requires disclosure of all ex parte communications, investigations, site visits, and expert opinions regarding this matter. If anyone on this board has had those, please recognize them now. Seeing none, would the applicant or like to speak to this item?
Good evening, City Commission. I'm Michael with Senior Engineer Firm of St. I am the applicant. I'm just here if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. This is a public hearing. If anybody from the audience would like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for discussion, questions, or action.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Thank you, sir, for coming down and seeing us again.
Thank you.
That brings us to item B, the second reading of ordinance number 4379 to rezone 4.462 acres at 343 Monroe Road. Mr. Colbert.
I think I have the wrong ordinance.
You want mine?
Yes, if you don't.
No, that's not it either.
No, what I've got in front of me is
774.
4374.
Anybody have ordinance 4379 for it?
I have 4379 in front of me.
You do? Can we have it, please?
Of course. Sure enough.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida relating to the amendment to the Indoor Plan Development PD approved by ordinance number 3774 and create and establish the Ganis North PD providing for the rezoning of real property located at 343 Monroe Road, assign the following tax parcel identification number of Seminole County Property Appraiser 16-1930 5AC 0000 0810 16-1935AC 0000 0820 16-1935AC 0000 16-1935AC 000 082B and 16-1935AC 0000 A2C. All properties located within the city limits, map of properties attached from the existing PD and AG Agriculture to the PD will be known as the Ganis North PD, subject to specific requirements and conditions, providing for a means of conflict resolution by the Planning and Zoning Commission, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for the adoption of a map and a PD master plan by reference, providing for conflicts, providing for PD amendment, harmonization with prior actions by the city, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rampart?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission. The city's Planning and Zoning Commission, along with the city's Planning and Zoning staff, recommend that the City Commission approve to rezone .462 acre parcel from agriculture to planned development and to amend the approved DeBoer Industrial Park and Development Master Plan by adding the .462 acres to the DeBoer development to create the Garnish North Planned Development Master Plan as recommended by the staff, subject to the development order.
Thank you, sir. This also is a quasi-judicial matter, and as such requires disclosure of all ex parte communications, investigations, site visits, and expert opinions regarding this matter. If you've had any of those, please report them now. Seeing none, I know Mr. Von Hercules could not make it because he turned, what, 34 today? Is that about right? 34? So if we have any questions, Mr. Gibson said he'd be happy to answer them. This is a public hearing, so if anybody from the audience would like to speak to this item, please do so now. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission.
Move to adopt ordinance 4379.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. That'll bring us to item C, the Cedar Point PD, aka Thornbrook at 133 North White Cedar Road, Taylor Morrison, Florida, Inc. as owner. Mr. Colbert.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida relating to amending a portion of the approved Cedar Point plan development, Thornbrook PD, providing for the rezoning of real property located at 133 North White Cedar Road, assigning tax parcel identification numbers 211935 TT OH 00000, 211935 TT OM 00000 within the city limits. Map of the property attached by converting portions of the approved section of the subdivision from lots that are 50 feet in width to lots that are 40 feet in width, providing for the resolution of disputes by the Planning and Zoning Commission, providing for the taking of implementing administrative actions, providing for the adoption of a map and a PD master plan by reference, providing for conflicts, providing for a PD amendment, harmonization with prior acts by the city, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Colbert. Mr. Bumford.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the city's Planning and Zoning Commission, along with the city's Planning and Development staff, recommend that the City Commission enact an ordinance to amend a portion of the approved Cedar Point plan development at 133 North White Cedar Road by converting parcels of the approved 50-foot wide lot sections of the subdivision to 40-foot wide lot, subject to the development order with the conditions as recommended by the staff and the additional conditions added by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you, sir. This is ex parte also, so if, quasi-judicial matter, and such requires disclosure of all ex parte communications, investigation, site visits, and expert opinions regarding this matter. If you've had any of those, please speak of them now.
I did make a site visit.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Woodruff. Anybody else? No? Seeing none, I'll close that, and I'll open it up to Ms. Smith, if you'd like to come down.
I would, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
For the record, Ellen Avery Smith, Rogers Towers, 201 South Orange Avenue in Orlando. With me today are Alex Madison from Taylor Morrison of Florida, Inc., which is the owner of the residential portion of this PUD. It's 61.58 acres. There's some commercial parcels within the same PD that are not owned by Taylor Morrison, and so they are not part of this PD rezoning. They'll stay under the 2013 approval that this board approved. The future land use map designation of the property is West Side Industry and Commerce. And then again, the zoning is PD. This board amended the PD in 2013. And so what we're seeking to do is to change some of the lot sizes within, again, the residential portion of the project. We went to the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 2nd, and the Planning Commission members asked for a couple of changes, including providing a separate group mailbox within the 40-foot section of the project. increasing the width of some of the lots, backing up to 50-foot wide lots 19 through 26, going from 40 feet to 50 feet, which would make those lot sizes compatible with the lots they back up to. Also adding one lot to the proposed 40-foot section so that Taylor Morrison would only lose one lot in the redesign. And so we did hold the community meeting on April 25th and one resident attended. Again, we went to the Planning and Zoning Commission on June 2nd. We were here before you for first reading 2 weeks ago on June 13th. And we have not made any changes to the PD plan between the first reading 2 weeks ago and tonight. We will talk about the PSP plan in a few minutes during that section. So with that being said, we would respectfully request that you approve the PD amendment as proposed.
Thank you very much. Are there any immediate questions for Ms. Avery Smith?
We had a conversation about well, help me out. The one we approved out by you, it's named after the palm.
Silvestri?
When we approved Silvestri and we asked for the concession of some specific architectural design details, didn't we talk about doing that again if we were going to go down to 40-foot lots?
Well, we talked about it, and actually I think it was you that suggested that they were doing a lot of that, and that's why I took a drive out there, and you know, they've got the cobblestone driveways, they do have the architectural features.
Okay.
Most of the houses have something like stone or brick on them.
Okay.
And you know, if I were to make a list of architectural standards that I would expect, I would go out and look at that project and make my list from there. I think a very nice looking project.
Thank you so much. And thank you for going out after 10 a.m.
My God, you could actually mark this date down in the history books of the city of Sanford, Arthur.
After 10 a.m. is when...
I don't even want to talk anymore.
We joked at the last meeting
Yeah.
about the sales office not opening till
Right.
10 a.m.
Yeah, I didn't stop by the sales office.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Phil, just in case there's some other questions.
I do have, it's sort of unrelated. Somebody had asked me about this, and I wasn't here during the initial approval. Were there any requirements for road improvements with this project?
There were some road improvements, and I may get Alex to come up here and help me fill in the blanks about which roads Taylor Morrison has actually reconstructed.
Well, I can get that from our staff later. We don't need to go over
Okay.
it tonight unless somebody else does. Okay. Russ, I'll get with you later about that. Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. This is a public hearing, so if anybody would like to speak from the audience on this, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing portion, bring it back for further discussion, questions, or actions.
Move to adopt ordinance 4380.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Approved unanimously. That we're going to item number 2 under the same heading, the approval amendment to the preliminary subdivision plan received June 13, 2016, subject to adoption and compliance with all conditions requirements of the revised Cedar Point PD Thornbrook Master Plan Associated Development Order. Mr. Belfort.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Members of the City Commission, it is the City's Planning and Zoning Commission along with City staff recommend the City Commission approve to amend the preliminary subdivision plan for Cedar Point Land Development, also known as Thornbrook, based on the plan meeting the requirements of the land development regulations and subject to the adoption of the revised Cedar Point Public and PD Master Plan.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Avery Smith. I guess you could have actually just stood there through all that.
It's more exercise to walk up and down.
Get your steps in.
Thank you. Again, for the record, Ellen Avery Smith, Rogers Towers, 201 South Orange Avenue, Orlando. I will not say all the things I just said in the last hearing, so we'll incorporate them by reference. I do want to point out Mr. Gibson, Ms. Hinson, Mr. Cash, and some others on your staff have done a great deal of work with us to make sure that the PSP matches the PD as it's been amended. And so one of the things that we need to note in your agenda package and your staff report is The PSP has actually been revised as of today's date, June 27th. Is that correct, Mr. Gibson?
That is correct.
So we just would like for the record to reflect and the documentation for the PSP to reflect that the final PSP is dated today, not June 13th, as noted in the staff report.
Okay, thank you very much.
And if I may, Mayor, each of you have before you a copy of the revised preliminary subdivision plan dated today's date, June 27th, 2016.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, this is also quasi-judicial, and such requires disclosure of all ex parte communication, investigation, site visits, and expert opinions regarding this matter. Mr. Woodruff.
Same site visit.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Seeing none, okay, I'll open it up to the public as a public hearing. If anybody'd like to speak to this item. Seeing none, I'll close that and bring it back to the commission for discussion or action.
Move for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Thank you all very much for coming in again and seeing us and working so diligently with us. So greatly appreciate it. Russ, thanks to you and your team also for your hard work on this.
Yes, sir.
That'll bring us to item D, the second reading of ordinance number 4381, amending city code regarding the police officer's retirement system. Mr. Colbert.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida, amending chapter 66, pensions and retirement. Article 2, police officers retirement system. Code of ordinances, city of Sanford, amending section 6631 definitions, section 6632 membership, section 6634 finances and fund management, amending section 6636 benefit amounts and eligibility, amending section 6637 optional forms of benefits, amending section 6644 prior police service, amending section 6646 deferred retirement option plan, removing section 6647 conviction and forfeiture, false, misleading, and fraudulent statements, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for conflicts, providing for savings provision, providing for codification, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Mr. Colbert. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission. The city's police officers pension board recommends that the City Commission adopt the ordinance.
Thanks, sir. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close that and bring it back to the commission.
Move to adopt ordinance 4381.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings to item E, second reading of ordinance number 4382, amending city code regarding the firefighters retirement system. Mr. Colbert.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida, amending chapter 66, pensions and retirement, article 3, firefighters retirement system, code of ordinances, city of Sanford, amending section 6671 definitions, amending section 6674 finances and fund management, amending section 6676 benefit amounts and eligibility, amending section 6677 optional forms of benefits, amending section 6684 prior fire service, amending section 6686 deferred retirement option plan, deleting section 6687 conviction and forfeiture, false, misleading, or fraudulent statements, providing for legislative findings and intent, providing for conflicts, providing for savings provision, providing for codification, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the city's firefighters pension board recommends that the City Commission adopt the ordinance.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission.
Move to adopt ordinance 4382.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings to item F, the second reading of ordinance number 4383, establishing an economic development ad valorem tax exemption from certain ad valorem taxations for Allegiant Air LLC. Mr. Colbert.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the city of Sanford, Florida, establishing an economic development ad valorem tax exemption from certain ad valorem taxation for Allegiant Air LLC, providing for findings and intent and purposes, providing for the grant of an economic development ad valorem tax exemption for the maximum period authorized at 10 years, providing for continuing performance obligations and a performance agreement, providing for review, providing for implementing administrative actions, providing for conflicts, providing for a savings provision, providing for severability, providing for non-codification, correction of scrivener's errors, providing for an effective date and expiration.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bonaparte?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, the staff recommends that the City Commission approve the proposed ordinance on second reading and proceed to the third reading.
Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak to this item, please do so. Close the public hearing and bring it back to the commission for discussion or action.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion?
Yeah, I had spoken with Mr. Bonaparte before the work session. Since this is the first one, I would like on our third reading, to line up all the conditions we had talked about in our ordinance. Because I think we need to establish that as our practice as we do these. And I know we've been doing that, but I think that's something we should do in public also.
And I think we also need to finalize the discussion that was upstairs about that this is based upon the actual ad valorem numbers as completed versus as our prediction of the inputted number, which I'm 100% sure it is, but I'd like that to be in public. Okay? Yeah. All right, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That'll bring us to the first reading of ordinance 2016-4384, amending City Code regarding the Economic Development Commercial Loan Subsidy Program. Mr. Colbert.
This ordinance is entitled an ordinance of the City of Sanford, Florida, providing for further amendments to Section 2-369 of the Code of Ordinances, City of Sanford, with regard to the Economic Development Commercial Loan Subsidy Program, priority of interest arising from grants and liens, providing for legislative and administrative findings, eliminating the requirement for the city to have priority position for loans and changes resulting therefrom, providing for a savings provision, providing for codification as well as the correction of scrivener's errors, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, staff recommends that the City Commission adopt the ordinance.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak to this item, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll bring it to the commission for discussion or action.
Move to approve first reading of ordinance 4384.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That'll bring us to item 8A. Appoint one member to the Historic Preservation Board. We'll just start with that one first. We were upstairs and had interviews. You have your suggested motions on appointments and your list of people that either came in a month ago and met with us, or the people that came in today holding nobody in any form or fashion if they did not come in and talk to us today, obviously. So I'll bring it to the board for discussion or action.
And the first one is the HPB.
First one is Historic Preservation Board.
Well, I want to start out by saying that I think that we had some amazing applicants. I mean, really amazing applicants. And after weighing it carefully, it just was a really, really hard decision. But I would like to nominate Mr. Kramer. I can also tell you that there were 2 or 3 other people that I think would serve equally as well. One of those is already serving in another capacity relating to historic preservation, and I'd like to see some new blood, new faces, and was very impressed with Mr. Kramer, and so that would be my nomination.
Second.
Got a motion and discussion. Further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. I'd like to also thank everyone for coming in. That was a good group, and hopefully they'll continue to move forward. That'll bring us to one member of the planning and zoning is next. We have our current member that has moved from the alternate position to the permanent position, if we so wish to appoint, is Dominic Fiorentino, who, my understanding, has served one or two times and has done very well. So I would ask for a motion on that current seat.
Move to appoint Dominic Fiorentino to Planning and Zoning Commission position 5.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. So that'll bring us to an appointment need for the alternate position on Planning and Zoning Commission.
Move to appoint Nancy Groves to the alternate position.
Second.
Got a motion and second on Nancy Groves for the alternate position on Planning and Zoning Commission. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That'll bring us to appointment of the Sanford Museum Advisory Board, position 1, to fill an unexpired term to expire September 30th, 2018.
I make a motion that we approve Mrs. Baker.
Second.
Got a motion and second for Posh Baker to take over position 1 for the Sanford Museum Advisory Board. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. That'll bring us to item B, consider developers' request to defer payment of impact fees for up to 180 days for Seminole Commons Apartments located at 1840 Reinhardt Road. Mr. Von Clark.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, this was the presentation upstairs. I believe the appropriate action would be for there to be a motion authorizing the city attorney to work out an agreement and authorize the mayor to execute it where the developer would be able to waive the impact fees for not more than 180 days plus the other qualifications that the city attorney noted upstairs.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and second. Okay, further discussion. Did you say half in that? Half of the fees?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Okay, motion and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Thank you very much. That brings us to item C, resolution 2598, amend the budget amount not to exceed $400,000 for the acceptance of EPA brownfield assessment grant. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the staff's recommendation that the City Commission approve resolution number 2598 to amend the budget in an amount not to exceed $400,000 for the acceptance of the EPA brownfield assessment grant.
Thank you, sir. Bring it to the commission.
Move to approve resolution 2598.
Second.
Motion second. Any further discussion? Do we have a list of property that we're looking at for that, or is that just going to hang in?
No, we have a list. See if I can get in there too. Mr. George is going to
Okay. You don't have to do it right now.
We have a list, we're trying to pare it down to a manageable amount. We've got so many sites, we're trying to fix them that has potential for development.
Right, okay. Would you, I mean, if you think about it tomorrow, can you maybe email the top 5 that you're kind of looking at? Just so, or
I can try.
your list?
I'll do it.
You can try to remember or you can try to email.
I'm trying to pick 5.
Is the list up here or is it on paper?
No, I'll try to pick 5 out of the many.
Okay, that'd be just so I know. Get that. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. Item D is the resolution 2599 to amend the classification and pay plan to retain current number of budgeted full-time equivalents for firefighter paramedics. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the staff's recommendation that the City Commission approve on resolution number 2599, amending the classification pay plan for the purposes as noted on the report for the fire department.
Thanks, sir. Bring it to the commission.
Move to approve resolution 2599.
Second.
Your motion is second, further discussion. Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings item E, the resolution 2600, to amend the budget in amount of $81,815 for police impact fees to purchase 135 active shooter kits. Mr. Brownberg.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, as you stated, it is a resolution that the city commission is being asked to support for the amendment of the budget for the expenditure of $81,815 in police impact fees for the purchase of 135 active shooter kits for the police department.
Just for the benefit of anybody that might listen to this, can we give just a brief of what the active shooter kits include and kind of what it means, Chief? Just a Reader's Digest version, I suppose.
Mayor and Commissioners, the active shooter kits are insert panels of higher level velocity support for the officers to include Kevlar helmets for the officers as well.
So it's additional body armor basically for the officers, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions for the chief or Mr. Bonaparte on this? And this is coming out of current impact fees that are already
Yes, sir.
there. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I'll bring it to the commission.
Move for approval.
Second.
Oh, go ahead, Art.
Motion is second by Mr. Woodruff. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Thank you very much. Brings us to item F, resolution 2601, QTI for Legion Air LLC. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the staff's recommendation that the City Commission approve resolution number 2601 approving Legion Air for a QTI award in the amount of $5,500.
Thank you, sir. I'll bring it to the commission for discussion or action.
Move to approve resolution 2601.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Approved unanimously. Thank you for all your work on that also, Mr. Turk et al. That'll bring us to item G, approve resolution 2602, amending the budget in the amount of $50,000 utilized proceeds from Woodruff Schoolhouse insurance payout for the Cottage Homes project. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the staff's recommendation that the City Commission approve the budget amendment for the Cottage Homes project by Resolution 2602, amending the fiscal year 16 capital budget in the amount of $50,000 to utilize proceeds of the Little Red Schoolhouse insurance payout.
Thank you, sir. I do have a speaker request for this one, Mr. Fears. You'll state your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes.
Shouldn't take that long. I'm Jim Fears. I live at 1109 South Park. My questions on this were the Red Schoolhouse was in District 1. And I'm not sure where these funds are going to. Obviously, it was not very good description in the budget. It looks like just a transfer of the general fund. And it'll eventually need some professional somewhere. So I don't know what they're for. And basically, in District 1, we have a gazebo that's fallen down, or something's wrong with it. And I really feel that the money should go to our gazebo first, then anywhere else. And there was basically no budget in the proposal. I mean, who knows what the $50,000 for? That numbers come out of thin air?
No. We had actually put that number aside, and it may not turn out to be that much, for the development of 10 different cottage-style home plans for odd-sized lots, or lots that are too small within the district, so that they can actually fast-track development for some of our vacant lots for private use. For one, that it's about 10 different plans with the elevation and the setup and the style and scope of them. We would actually hold those plans here. The developer or the owner of the property, more than welcome to come take a look at them. If they can find something, because they'll be pre-approved plans It's automatically fast-tracked because it's actually approved. Just the only thing you'd have to do is approve the positioning of the house within that style. It's all for the redevelopment of the vacant properties or the lots that are in there that you couldn't put a regular size house on. We also talked about this could be a good opportunity for the Red Schoolhouse property itself, and subdividing that out and actually doing some of these on that property. It'll hold 3 to 4. I think 5's a little tight for it, but if we could get 4 of those in, we could do a public-private partnership with a developer to actually show people what these look like, because it always looks a lot better when it's on, when you can touch it. It's not just a picture. So this was for the redevelopment of the whole area, and it's pretty, although it's not specific to District 3, it's pretty specific to District 3 because that's where most of our odd-sized lots or too small lots for building and development on.
Yeah, one and two.
1 and 2.
1 and 2.
So, in regards to, there's still, I believe it was stated upstairs, there's still $220,000 left of money from the Little Red Schoolhouse. That is set aside. Any approval for money to be used has to come through the City Commission before it's delved out. The only other money that we put out has been to help with the Hopper Academy redevelopment and restructuring in the amount of
110,000.
We know that the gazebo is in disarray and issue. We've had the engineers look at it. We've heard talk about it several times. We're coming into the budget hearings, actually the first of next month, and that's going to be one of the discussion items that's on there. We'd be more than happy to put it down as the record that you think that the redevelopment of that gazebo should come from the Little Red Schoolhouse money, and we can discuss that at that time.
I really don't care where it comes from, but I think it's a bigger priority than the cottage program.
I appreciate your comments and your sentiment, Mr. Fears.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission.
Move to approve Resolution 2602.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I would just like to say that while I feel that this is a good, the cottage home concept is a good one, I do have some concerns. However, I think that this particular initiative needs a unanimous vote, so I'm going to vote for it, although I have some concerns.
Okay. Commissioner Williams will be voting with concerns. Further discussion?
Just, I appreciate how long staff has been working on this. I think it was first brought up about 10 years ago.
Good grief.
The wheels of
So
government
and when we look at some of the vacant lots we have and the issues of getting those redeveloped, I think anything the city can do to promote the redevelopment of those lots in a good way, and I think this will do that, is something we should be doing.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you just a little point of history. The gazebo was actually a Women's Club of Sanford project. The Women's Club of Sanford built the gazebo.
Well, you need to build a new one.
Well, we're not gonna. But yeah, that was actually
I remember that.
Women's Club project. Yeah, rather than just a city project.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings us to item H, the approved installation of place-name street sign toppers to identify the residential historic district as recommended by the Historic Preservation Board and staff. Mr. Bonaparte.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission. The city staff recommends that the City Commission engage in governmental speech in a manner found to be appropriate by the Historic Preservation Board by approving the installation of place name signs to identify the old Sanford residential historical district. The signs will be placed at various locations throughout the historic district. The place name signs are in the form of street sign toppers which have been donated to the city by the Historic Trust.
Thank you, sir. I'll bring it back to the commission for discussion or action.
I really like these. These are nice.
Me too.
So move for approval?
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And just thank you to the trust and to the work Nelson's done on this.
We share our sentiment
I know
back to the
that-
trust, Mr.
It's been a while on it.
Yep, okay. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. Brings to item I, the approval of sublease agreement with No Limit Health and Education for the Melville Annex property. Mr. Davenport?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, it is the staff's recommendation that the City Commission approve the execution of a sublease agreement with No Limit Health and Education for the use of the Melville Annex facility for office space and youth mentoring programs.
Thank you, sir. Bring it to the commission.
Move to approve. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion regarding the lease? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved unanimously. That brings to the city attorney's report. Mr. Colby.
I have no additional items, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk.
I have nothing, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davenport.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Commission, one follow-up item. In the meeting upstairs, there was the discussion regarding the possible city attorney proposing or preparing a mortgage agreement for the Harbor Academy to allow for the city to expend some funds, this as a loan. There was no identification of loans, and we'd like to see if the commission is opposed to the proceeds from the Little Red Schoolhouse as a loan, with the money going back to the Little Red Schoolhouse Fund.
I'm actually okay with that as long as the interest due goes to, are we charging interest? Or is it?
Yes.
Yeah, we're charging, so. As long as it goes to the Little Red Schoolhouse Fund also, good with that.
The assumption is it's less than 18%.
17 and a half.
I think the legal rate is 4.78 right now.
Or 4.78, there's always an attorney around.
Just a clarification. And then secondly, we'd like to remind the commission as well as all of our residents that July 4th, we have the fireworks, and we invite everybody to come out to see Sanford for fireworks. We also, this coming week, have on June 29th, the Vietnam Veterans Luncheon at the Civic Center, where we'll be honoring the Vietnam veterans. And then this is a reminder to the City Commission that there is a vacancy on the Sanford Housing Authority Board.
That's a mayor appointment.
Yes, if you would like to submit, if you have an individual or someone that would like to serve on that board, I obviously need to place another person on the housing authority. Mr. Gassard did step off due to his travels. So I'd like to get that handled maybe by the end of next month. They've got a lot of things happening, a lot of things coming up, so I'd like to try to get a qualified individual. If you have someone, great, let me know, or send it to the clerk to get to me. If not, I'll look through my stuff and see who I've got on the list.
So Mr. Lassard did step on.
Yeah, he stepped aside. He's traveling a lot with CPH, so he just didn't have the time to take care of it. So.
That's a shame.
Okay.
Mayor, I have.
Do we need official action for Hopper?
That's what I'm about the moment.
Well, the attorney, I'm not going to speak for the attorney, the action I understood is for the attorney to draft it, for also the Hopper Academy to review, and then bring it back at the next meeting as a formal agreement.
That's exactly right. Thank you very much. So it'll be back in front of us next month. Okay, is that all? This is open it up for citizen participation. If anybody would like to speak to the commission, please do so at this time. Seeing no one, I'll close that down and bring it to commissioner reports. I'll start with Ms. Mahaney.
I don't have anything tonight, thank you.
Okay.
Except, so glad that.
You can't put those in the same sentence together.
Except, so
Then you do have
glad that you're all right and that Dan Ping's all right, and kudos to our police for making such a quick arrest, and I just hope that over time it becomes a fading memory.
Yes, very much so. Thank you. Commissioner Woodruff.
I have nothing other than to second her sentiments.
Thank you. Commissioner Williams.
I have nothing but to third her sentiment.
Well, I just want to say, I just take a moment that you've probably seen the news and read the stories that there was an unfortunate incident involving myself and a good friend of mine, Dan Ping, in the city Saturday morning. I cannot give enough thanks to everyone that's reached out to me, all the kind thoughts and words that have come to me via phone call, text messages, emails, and the like. It's been a long 36 hours, 48 hours, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But Chief, I sent an email today to the Chief in Norton about the absolute professionalism and compassion and everything that the police department did. They were very prompt in response, and as I was dry heaving from my emotions, they stood with, I think Officer French actually put his hand on my back, and he might have rubbed it a little bit too as I was trying to get my wits about me. So if you'll please, once again, share all your sentiments with everybody. I've had a lot of hugs and well-being from people I've seen maybe once or twice in my life that are part of our family that we call City Hall and the police department and the fire department and citizens of Sanford, and it's actually reached out beyond that through Central Florida. So it just goes to show that this is another chapter in the book and a spot in time that will pass. Actually, some of the questions today that came out were more economic development side than actually what the event was. So, as we've seen in the past, tragedy turns to an opportunity. Thank God it wasn't a tragedy. Turns to an opportunity for us to continue to talk about the great things that we are in the city of Sanford and who we are. But I just the utmost respect for Chief, your staff, and Mr. Been part of your staff, and just want to say thank you all very, very much for the support and the time that you gave us. Mr. Ping also, who's sitting in the audience, one of my best friends, and I love that guy to death, and I think I got a little emotional with him today. We went to lunch, and we were kind of going through it, and we kind of looked at each other, and we took a picture. I actually bought some glasses that looked like his because I lost my glasses when my car got stolen. I couldn't see anything. So I saw him, I was like, I think Ping kind of wears glasses like that. So we got a picture of the two of us. I got to tell you, I look much better in that picture than you do. But I tell you, the one thing I learned, man, give your friends and family and your loved ones a big hug and kiss every day, because one of the thoughts that went through my head was I didn't think that I had said goodnight to my kids when I was finally able to get back home the next morning. So there's one true special thing in life, and that's your friends and your family, and all the distractors and enemies that are out there can't get to you as long as you've got good people around you. So with that being said, have a great evening.
Wait.
Oh, I already closed it down.
I got one more thing that is kind of important.
Yes. Patty did call me 3 times. I did not have the opportunity to call her back because she said, the last one, she was like, damn it, Jeff, I'm trying to cook you banana cream pudding. And that's what that's what it's all about. I received a lot of those calls, so thank you.
Reach out to Buddy Dyer.
No.
Do you think you should, or do you think that the city should send a letter of condolence or support? They've done a really great job over there.
For the Pulse?
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I get to see him next week. I almost said I have to. So I was just going to say something to the side. They've gotten a lot of influx of a lot of money, and they've got their hands tied up with a whole lot of what they're doing. They did handle that in an excellent form and fashion, all the way through from the officers, the chiefs, and
I just didn't know if you've had a chance to give him all our best.
I'm sitting in a meeting with him next week. I was gonna tell him kind of in person from all of us.
Okay.
So good thought. All right.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. That being said, have a good evening.
You too. Art.